This is Dream Power Radio, the place where your dreams turn into reality. Here is your host, Debbie Spector-Weissman.
Hello, and welcome to Dream Power Radio on the amazing Women and Men of Power Network, the world's leading positive programming network powered by Raven International. I'm your host, Debbie Spector-Weissman, the Dream Coach. This is a show where we talk about dreams, both daytime and nighttime dreams, and how you can use them to make the internal shift to a life you love and rediscover the truth of who you really are. If I could come up with one word that describes what it means to me to live a dream life, I'd say that word is abundance. Abundance in love of self and others. Abundance in passion and purpose. And what most people think of when they see the word abundance, money. For a lot of women, though, achieving abundance is easier said than done. Someone who understands this is my guest, developmental coach, Petia Kolibova. Petia helps her clients achieve personal transformation so they can shine their lights brightly on the world. She's also host of the Unapologetically Abundant podcast. Welcome to Dream Power Radio, Petia.
Thank you so much, Debbie. What a beautiful introduction. I'm like, sign me up. It all sounds so good. Daydreaming, night dreaming. I love that.
Well, when I heard that you were going to be here and talking about abundance, which is, your main field, I said, let's go for it. I want to start out with this, Petia. In my years of doing this show, I've met a lot of coaches who have entered the field because they were able to overcome traumas in their own lives. In fact, that was my own motivation for becoming a dream life coach. So can you tell us what your life was like before you became an abundance coach?
Absolutely. And I love that, that you're attracting people who walk their path and now they can be teaching others, because I feel that it makes us more trustworthy and relatable, and people can look at us and say, wow, if she could do it, I can do it too. And that's something that I really live by now, because when people look at me now, I truly live in the dream life. Like, I achieved everything I dreamed for, and now it's just like cherries on the top, but when I was growing up in scarcity, and it wasn't scarcity of money that I'm living on a street, not to put it in this way, but scarcity of love and nurturing. And I was, physically and mentally abused, and that led into eating disorder, toxic relationships. When I was 18, I attempted for a suicide. So all these things, I was living in this feeling of not enoughness, not feeling enough, not feeling there's enough money, not feeling that there's enough time and love. And that's what always made me settle. Up until when I was around 30 years old, when I was getting back into these dark places, thinking that I don't matter. It doesn't even matter if I'm here or not. And I discovered the beautiful Louise Hay and Dr. Wayne Dyer, Joe Dispenza, Tony Robbins, and I allowed them to give me the hope. And that's what really helped me to become the one that I needed on my journey. And now I'm doing that for other women. I'm guiding them, giving them hope, giving them strategies, and really helping them to get crystal clear and unapologetic about who they are and why they came here.
Mm-hmm. That is so important, because when we don't have somebody sometimes we need somebody to remind us of our greatness and that inner power within us. So it's just a wonderful feeling to be able to do that and help somebody else achieve their passions and their purpose. So you talked about your past, and it sounds to me like, we always talk about limiting beliefs that are really holding us back. And it sounded like yours was just, I'm not good enough. Is that true?
Yes, I truly believe that it's the limiting beliefs that are holding us back. And one of them was that I am not enough, and other where I'm unlovable, I'm not special. I feel like the one I'm not special, it's something that I have been working through just still recently, and still I'm working through that, because all my life I was looking outside of me, outsourcing my happiness, outsourcing my worthiness, and comparing myself to others. So it took me decades to really realize that each and every one of us is special and perfectly made for our purpose. So I would say that there was like a blend of limiting beliefs when I was growing up.
So what would you say was the key thing that helped you overcome these beliefs?
I feel that the first was like really realizing there is a hope and that it's possible for me. Because if we don't have a hope, faith in something bigger than ourselves, and that it is possible for us, we will just keep going through the same things and feelings and beliefs in a different places with the different people, but the results will be the same. We will end up feeling the same way. So I feel like shifting into it's possible for me, I can do this, and then hiring mentors and being really open to growth and trusting that, it's happening for me.
I want to touch on the concept of self-love, because I kind of feel that's the belief, that's the foundation of all transformation. I know in my own case, I didn't realize that I didn't love myself until I had to come to that realization in the long and hard way. So can you talk to me about your vision of self-love?
Absolutely. It's a great question, because like I mentioned, Louise Hay is the one who really I found on my journey. And she was the one who teaches so deeply about self-love. And one of her videos that I was watching said, go to the mirror and say, I love you. I really, really love you. I didn't even get up. I didn't get to the mirror. I knew I didn't love myself. I wanted others to love me so I feel lovable. And so my journey started with accepting and the willingness. I'm willing to accept myself. I couldn't go and say, I love you. I didn't even like myself. So I feel like the first step was acceptance and willingness, and being open. I'm open and willing to learn how to love myself, how to accept myself for who I am and where I am.
And how long did it take you to get to that point?
I in my heart, I don't know where there is like this like hard timeline, like, oh, it took me a month or it took me 2 years. I feel like it's a journey. It's a lifelong journey, because there will be always things that you're like, oh, okay, when I have this, when I do this, I will feel better. I will feel worthy. And I always say it's like living in a wonderland. When this and this happen, when I have this and this. So I feel like self-love, it's something that we get to practice every single day, and being intentional about it, because it's not like, okay, I master self-love, now I love myself, it's all good. It doesn't work this way, right? I feel like we come here as a human beings to have all of these experiences, and mastering a self-love, it's a lifelong journey. It becomes easier, it becomes, I would say, faster, because you get to know yourself deeper and you know what works for you. And it's a lifelong progress.
And I'm glad you made that point, that it is a journey, because so often, it's very easy for me or for you, to talk to our clients and say, these are things to do to, learn how to love yourself or learn how to get rid of that belief. But hearing somebody else say it isn't enough. You really have to embody it. And that is a process. It's not immediate. It's not like just snapping your fingers and, oh, okay, now I know this, now I can do it.
Yeah, no, it's not. And I also feel it makes us appreciate it deeper and more. If we could have and do anything with the snap of our fingers, we won't be able to appreciate it. And with that saying, it doesn't have to be hard. That's another belief that I had to overcome. It's hard to make money. It's hard to make friends. You cannot trust anyone. When you are too nice, people will take advantage of you. So these were like all the beliefs that I had to be overcoming to myself, because that's how I was raised. And because I believed it, I kept getting the evidence. When you believe something a certain way, you will keep declaring and then getting evidence of it. So I allow myself for things to be easy.
How did you allow that ease?
It's a wonderful question. I feel the biggest shift in my life happened probably around 4 years ago when I was working with a mentor and we were working on my core values. Like, what do I truly stand for in life and in business? And when I realized my core values like loyalty, generosity, integrity, and growth, I did an inventory of my life and I'm like, wow, I'm not living that. I didn't have it in my business. I didn't have it in my relationships. That's why I was always tired, frustrated, and always unwell, So that was the first step, realizing what my core values are and then aligning with that. Because I don't accept or settle on something that it's not aligned with what I believe and who I am. I can't, because then I'm making disservice to others and myself. And that's when everything starts to happen easier. I used to fight and push and hustle and work hard. And one time in my life, I had like 4 jobs and I was so frustrated, working so hard and proving myself to others. And when I allow myself to ask myself, is this right for me? Does this feel right? Does this align with who I really am? I had to release a lot of things. I, happily divorced. Now I'm 1 week married again to the love of my life. I created a space because now in my life, it's easy. The clients that come to me, I don't chase clients. I don't do paid ads. Women come to me because they are attracted to who I am being. It's being magnetic because I know who I am. I know what I stand for. And that's how people and opportunities and money come to you because you're being true to yourself. Universe, God, whatever you believe, knows who to deliver. If we are wearing so many masks and, trying to please everyone, we're changing who we are every 5 minutes. Every single place we step into, whether it's work, whether it's grocery store, whether it's being with this person or this person, we changing who we are. Well, then how we are supposed to get what it's meant for us?
Well, I want to touch back on something that you said, because you said you had to go through a divorce, but the other side of that was you were able to find your true love, the love you really wanted. But isn't it true that so many people have that fear of changing the status quo? Because even if the status quo isn't working for them, it feels safe. And so how do they make that leap?
Oh my goodness. I hear you on like feeling that it's like comfortable, but it's not safe. If you're not being true to who you really are and not like really reflecting that in your relationships, some relationships, we just, grow out of them. And sometimes you can just renegotiate it and partners can grow with you, whether it's friends, whether it's boss, whether it's coworkers. But sometimes you just go a separate direction. And a couple things that come up for me. First thing, on your deathbed, right? We never know when it will happen. It doesn't matter how young you are, right? In your deathbed, would you be regretting not to live your life fully and experiencing it to your own liking? Or would you be regretting that, I could be nicer to my husband, even if it made me unhappy, or my wife, right? It's the sense of responsibility. I got this life. Maybe there are, past lives, maybe there are future lives, but right now, I'm right here, right now. And it's my responsibility to live my truth. And I remember a couple of years ago, I was working with a client and she was in a relationship that I could feel wasn't serving her, but I'm no one to tell her like, hey, you gotta like leave, right? I'm here to serve her high self. She has to come to that point. So I asked her, if nothing ever changes, are you okay with that? And she wasn't. She wasn't. And, she break up her relationship. Now she's with the man of her dreams and it's beautiful to see them together. So it's really being really honest with yourself. Am I better with or without this relationship? And if I'm better without, how can I safely walk away? Because sometimes there is like, kids involved, family involved, money involved. But in the end, it's your life. You got one life right here, right now. And if you're not feeling fulfilled and alive,
I know, what's the point then? I mean, we're here to be fully embrace our humanity and be the people we're meant to be. And we should be doing it. We shouldn't be living someone else's life or living for the sake of someone else. On that note, we are going to take a short break. We are speaking with Petia Kolibova all about abundance and finding our true self. And we'll be right back. If you're not pleased with the trajectory of your life, the time to begin your own personal transformation is now, and your dreams can help pave the way. How? By tapping into your unvoiced confidence. What is unvoiced confidence, you say? It's the acceptance of your abilities and qualities. It's a state of mind coming from liking and even loving yourself, and feeling free to say or do anything you want without concern for the judgment of others. You were born confident, but may have had it chipped away little by little by the negative self-beliefs you've picked up over the years. If you're looking for the heightened energy, clarity of thought, and the feeling of being more alive that comes from self-confidence, you can rediscover it by paying attention to your dreams. Need some help doing this? Go to my website, thedreamcoach.net, and sign up for my complimentary dream discovery session. I can help show you how your dreams can help you return to the confident person you were always meant to be. Again, go to thedreamcoach.net. thedreamcoach.net.
Welcome back to Dream Power Radio with your host, Debbie Spector-Weissman.
Yes, welcome back to Dream Power Radio. I'm your host, Debbie Spector-Weissman, and we're speaking with Petia Kolibova about abundance and finding our true self. I introduced you at the beginning of the show as an abundance coach. So why don't you tell me your definition of abundance?
Oh, I love that question, because when we say abundance, the first thing that comes, it's money, right? I experienced in my life, like there were like phases of my life that there was money, but then nothing else. And it felt miserable. So for me, abundance, it's freedom. For me, it's freedom to be myself, to do things that really align with who I am, freedom to do things that I want to enjoy, whether it's traveling, whether it's living in a nice home, whether it's taking care of my mom, my family. It's abundance of love and health and possibilities and opportunities. It's living with the sense in your heart that everything is working out for you. That's what I feel that true abundance is. Because when you align with this, the money comes. You get to create relationship with money like you would create relationship with anyone and everything that you want in your life. But only money won't make you happy. It will make your life easier, but won't make you happy and fulfilled.
It is so true. Recently I was interviewing a woman. The talk was strictly about finances, and we did touch upon the idea of what you said at the beginning of scarcity. When we equate money with scarcity, we equate anything with scarcity. It just limits us totally and prevents us from overcoming whatever we need to overcome to be the people we want to be. We touched upon the idea of self-limiting beliefs. When somebody comes to you, how do you help them overcome their own self-limiting beliefs?
Always, and all of them. Because we all have limiting beliefs. Beliefs are just thoughts that we keep thinking, and many of them are not serving us, because I never had a woman to come to me and say, I'm absolutely incredible, amazing, and I'm happy, and I just want to help more people to do that, right? It's usually, I feel stuck. I feel that, like I'm not living the life that is true to me, and I'm feeling like nobody understands me. So all those are also limiting beliefs. So many women come to me with different limiting beliefs, whether it's relationship, whether it's their body, whether it's their career. a lot of it's also family, right? And the sense of not being able to express yourself and freedom to be yourself. So I feel that all women that come to me and are open to work with me have limiting beliefs, and many of them we overcome in such a way that, like, I see my clients and how much they grown and change, and it just makes me feel on purpose. It's when I look at them and their lives and how much they're changed as a result is working together, I feel like that's why I'm here and that's why I came. That's why I'm doing what I'm doing and why I'm being who am I being. And many of them were able to release the toxic relationships, leave a corporate career, create their, successful, profitable online businesses. And some of them wanted to be a better mom and have better relationships and family. Some of them wanted to write books or travel the world. And when I see them now living it, it just makes me so happy.
Can you give me any specific examples of how you've been able to help others achieve abundance in their lives?
Absolutely. So one of my clients, Lila, she is from Europe. And when we started to work together, she was working just by herself. She was a virtual assistant and she was making around $700 a month, which in Europe, it's okay. It's not like I'm living like the queen, but it's okay. And when we started working together, she realized her limiting beliefs about I have to do everything by myself. I cannot, trust people. And I can be only happy when I am, traveling, and I have to be out there to be successful. And we were able to shift these beliefs, work on her relationship to trusting herself, as a result, trusting others, creating relationship with money. And now she has months up until $7,000 a month, created a team of 5 people that are helping her with her business. Hence, she created the trust and delegated. And right now she's in Mexico. And before that, she was, traveling through Europe. And I believe she was a few weeks in Nicaragua. So she received that through removing her limiting beliefs about what is possible for her.
And if you told her when she first came to you that this is what would be in store for her, would she have believed it?
No, it's I feel like it's like we talk about the self-love. I feel like it's a gradual shift, because when women come to me, I can see the possibilities. I can just tap into their energy and I see what is possible for them. But I cannot tell her, oh, you will do this, you will get there, you will have that, right? It's up to them. And we never know where people are on their journeys, right? There is no guarantees and promises. We never know if it will take a month or if it will take a year. I had a client who worked with me. She was in a sales job, an amazing sales job. She was working for Coca-Cola and similar brands. So she was doing incredible money, but she was tired, frustrated. She knew she didn't belong there. She came to me because she wanted to feel good about herself, about her life choices. And then we shifted her beliefs. She had some, traumas from the past and her family. So we were working on healing that. But now she does live in Nicaragua. She left her sales job. She's building a house in Nicaragua. And she built her online coaching business, helping other spiritual entrepreneurs. If I would tell her in the beginning, we worked together over a year. If I would tell her at the beginning, I think she would run away thinking that I'm crazy.
Which just goes to show you how not crazy living your authentic life is. It's what you should be doing.
Yeah, it's inspiring, when we see other people living their truth. It's like the reflection of what is possible and what we can do. I remember, like, even if you would have told me 5 years ago, who would I be and what would I do? And working with my soulmate clients, marrying the love of my life, being in a peace with my body and being healthy and vibrant, traveling the world, having my own show and being abundantly paid just to be me. I'm like, who would pay me to be me, right? Like 5 years ago, I would think it's crazy, really. But I had a dream. I knew that I'm meant for more. I knew that there must be more in life. And I didn't know how it would look like. I just had this deep sense inside of me. There must be more than struggling with food and relationships and just like not feeling that I belong. And because I follow those nudges and curiosity step by step, you take one step, the second one unfolds. So you just got to keep going.
Absolutely. Tell me, if there was just one thing that you could tell someone who's looking to transform their life, what would it be?
It's a brilliant question because I feel like it depends on what area of their life they would want to transform. However, one thing that really helped me on my journey and that I remind all of my clients is that they are perfectly made for your purpose. That's something that I really stand for, because once you realize that all of you, the way you look, the way you speak, your experiences, everything you have created in this world, you are perfectly made for that. It gives you freedom and liberty, and you stop judging yourself for your nose, your hair, your accent, whatever it is, right? For your thoughts, you allow yourself to be who you are and where you are. And I feel like when we relax and release, that's when the good things can come to us versus when we are living in a survivor.
Do you have a daily practice that you do to keep you remembering who you are?
Absolutely. I personally love rituals and routines. Every one of us is different, right? Some people, they just love just going with the flow and whatever, and they don't like rituals. I do. My morning routine, it's always sacred to me, like first hour or two, no phone, no technology. Every morning is different. I give myself permission to do whatever feels right for me in the moment, but I'm doing usually breath work or meditation or journaling, reading, or just cuddling with my husband and dog. It's just like that feeling of love and abundance of times feels just so good that I don't have to wake up and be somewhere. So my mornings are like this, or just standing on a backyard or sitting in a shower or making, a smoothie and celery juice every morning with my husband. It makes me feel spacious and happy to be alive. So how we start our day is how the rest of the day will go, really. And how, as Jim Rohn said, you either run your day or your day runs you. It doesn't matter if you're a single mom of 4 kids and you have only 2 minutes for yourself. That's enough. Just connecting with your body, connecting with your breath, connecting with the gratitude. It will support you in feeling that what you're doing really matters. And that sense of purposefulness, it's what will lead you throughout the day.
Oh, wonderful. Well, we are almost out of time. I just have time for one final question, which is, how can people find out more about you and your services?
So my favorite place is either my website, just petiakolibova.com, or my Instagram, which is my name too. And I have also free Facebook group for women called Unapologetically Abundant Women.
Well, Petia, thank you so much for being on Dream Power Radio today.
Thank you so much. I appreciate you, and I love the work you are doing. We get to keep dreaming.
Oh, thank you so much. It's so true. We've been speaking about self-development with abundance coach Petia Kolibova. I hope you've enjoyed today's program. If you have, please tell all your friends, follow me, and drop a positive review on your podcast site. And if you're on Clubhouse, join me in my club, Club Dreams, where I host weekly rooms on all aspects of dream work. Until next time, this is Debbie Spector-Weissman saying, sweet dreams, everybody.
You've been listening to Dream Power Radio with your host, Debbie Spector-Weissman. For more information on Debbie or to sign up for her newsletter, go to dreampowerradio.com. This has been Dream Power Radio on the amazing Women and Men of Power Network, the world's leading positive programming network, powered by Raven International.